Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to Besties Beyond Borders. I'm Layla,
I'm Coach Carrie.
and we are Besties Beyond
Besties
Borders.
Beyond Borders. We gonna work on that.
Yeah, we gotta work on that. We gotta be more syncing at the same time and making it
Right.
making sense, right? So, it's just so nice to have a chat today, and we just wanted to have like a very casual conversation about our favorite drinks, right? So, me and Coach Carrie, we met through hot chocolate chat, coffee chat, because she's a coffee drinker and I drink hot chocolate. So we kind of came together, and then here we are today with Besties Beyond Borders at episode 2 of our podcast. So, Carrie, tell us about your favorite drink, your coffee.
All right. So interestingly, there was a time when I didn't drink coffee at all. I had my very first cup of coffee in 2014 when I was traveling from Las Vegas, Nevada back to the state of Illinois, and I was driving and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sleepy. I need to figure something out." So the friend that I was traveling with suggested that I get a cup of coffee. And I was like, ugh, I don't drink coffee. I was like, I don't even like the smell of coffee. Like no. But I had moved away from caffeine, so I wasn't drinking soda. And I was like, well, what can I get that has some caffeine? Because I need to pick me up right now. And so my friend made me a cup of coffee. And when I say that was the best thing that had ever touched my lips, baby, I was like, oh. And ever since December of 2014, I have been drinking coffee. Now I don't drink coffee every day, but I do drink it most days. And so my coffee is two forms. So the first cup is usually from, I don't know if you all can see it, but it's Folgers. And I remember these commercials growing up. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to grow up and drink coffee. But then I didn't like the smell of it when I finally got around it. And so I usually start my day with Folgers. Now, this is the classic roast, medium, easy drinking, smooth, robust flavor. And this is ground coffee. So what I actually do and is take the coffee and I'll scoop it into my coffee press. But you can see
Oh
I
yeah,
use a
okay. So
lot,
you do
right?
like French press?
Yes, and so I put the
Oh, nice.
coffee in here and then I press it down and I use milk or water and I drink almond milk, so I usually use almond milk. But if I'm in a hurry and I'm on the
Okay.
go, I'll usually use like a Premier Protein shake, like this shake here, and then I take a pack of IQ Joe, and then I'll just shake it up, and then that's my coffee if I'm running behind schedule, which doesn't happen a lot. But I like to stay ready so I don't have to get ready, right?
Okay, so
So
you have
that
like
is my
different options I can see for when you're have more time to like when you're in a hurry. So that's a
yes.
great options.
Yeah, and because I work from home, I'm usually not in a hurry, and so most of the time, I drink Folgers, but I do have this as a backup, just
Oh,
in case. So, tell us about your hot chocolate.
all right. So I love hot chocolate and I've been drinking this brand. So it's called Calibut. It's a Belgium dark chocolate. Okay. So I buy
Mm,
a big block and it's like 485 grams. And I
mm,
just kind of like chop little pieces and I boil my soy milk and I put like couple spoons of sugar in there. And I
mm,
just like melt this and it's just like really delicious. And why I love hot chocolate, I grew up in Montreal and it's really cold and in the winter it could be minus 30 with
mm,
snow. So when I was younger, my mom used to always make me hot chocolate when I would go play outside in the snow because with all this snow and I would come in. She's like, "Oh, your hot chocolate is ready," and she always made it with milk and real chocolate. So for me, hot chocolate it brings me warmth. It's nice, it's comforting, and I just love chocolate. And I'm not a coffee drinker. I'll have it time to time when I need it, but
mm.
having this, I found out like maybe a couple months ago because I have a gluten allergy and it's really hard to find chocolate that doesn't have wheat in it. So I found this brand and I just bought it and I love the taste of it. So these are what came from my hot chocolate chat. That's why I call them hot chocolate chat because I don't drink coffee.
Right.
And right, so and you drink coffee, so I'm just like with just a combination of different things, but we still came together and that's how we met. And
Hmm.
we've known each other for a little bit now, and we kind of just kind of have this really positive synergy. And then that's how Besties Beyond Borders was born, through a
Yes.
coffee chat and a hot chocolate chat, and we came together, and here we are today.
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm super excited because I drink hot chocolate, and I love what that you talked about, the nostalgia and the warm feelings, and the compassion. It reminds you of your mom. And so I love those. Did you see that blackout?
No, but I see there's somebody who joined, but I don't know if people can actually see us right now, because if you want to join the conversation, I think you have to upgrade. But I'm not too sure how that works. So
I don't know how
sorry.
it says I can add a guest. I see Natasha in the audience, but my whole screen just went black, and now I
Oh,
can see. Yep, so I can see everybody again. So first time for everything. But what I was saying was, like, I love that nostalgic piece about, family and memories and positive energy. Like, that's what we're about. We're about positive vibes, we're about positive energy. And I love that your Sagittarius sun and my Sagittarius moon really combine, and like we move quickly. We have like really great energy together, and that's one of the things that I like. So when I started doing the coffee chats, it was really just kind of a way to meet people, because really post COVID, a lot of people have become isolated. And when I really got active on LinkedIn, honestly, I was like, I had my account since 2014. I don't really talk to people on social media. I was the type of person that would post something and then I was gone. I would post and then I would leave. And I'm like, how come nobody's responding to my post? But I realize you have to respond to other people's posts. You have to engage with other people's content. And so that's really kind of what helped me to blossom and grow. But my coffee chats, I meet some really, really amazing people. And so I started just writing articles about those people. Now, what do you do when you do your hot chocolate chats?
you know what? When I started my hot chocolate chat, as well as like I've lost community, I moved around for work, and also I was like, it was a tough year in 2025, so I kind of like was in a place of, I was not in a good place, and I need to get out of it. And I said, you know what? Let's try something new. Open my calendar to random people and see if people want to meet up with me and just have a conversation. No pitch, no
Mhm.
sales, right? Let's just connect human to human, because I really needed to get this community and find community again. And that was part of my yes here that I call, right?
Mhm.
So yes to doing things that bring positivity and energy, moving with intention, and um, I'm meeting all these great people, and they're just like, for me, I see them as celebrities because some of them are doing really great stuff in the community. They serve a lot, they're being of service, they do really amazing things to help others and support others. So what I do is like, I don't write an article per se, but I do write a bit of like a short bio of the conversation. I put their information, I put a post on LinkedIn, and then I also do another post on Substack in the notes, so it kind of reaches out all the people, and I put all their social media links, and people want to reach out to them. And what's beautiful about it is like there's a community, which I was gonna give up on LinkedIn, okay, because I was feeling the same way, Carrie, and I was just like, what? Why am I on there? Like, it's just not going anywhere. So I was this close to giving up. And then all these things shifted when I started doing my hot chocolate chat. And uh and then what's great about that is because we're building community and people are getting to know each other. Um, some of our guests end up in other people's, podcasts, and I don't
Mhm.
necessarily host a podcast, but people are getting invited to other podcasts. People are reaching out for coffee chats or other kind of conversation, and it's just really amazing to see people you met that are doing really great stuff too. And so everybody's kind of helping each other out. It's super fun. I'm actually enjoying the journey and the experience. So I would say that's basically how I'm doing it for now.
Yeah, and I love that you said that when your coffee chat is over, you write a bio about the person, you put their links in the comments. And so a little different from me, when my coffee chats are over, I do an article, but I only do one article per week because it became a lot and you're much faster than I am. I'm like, I sometimes I have 4 coffee chats in a day, and it's no way that I can intentionally write an article about 4 people in one day, plus all the other stuff that's on my calendar. And then like sometimes it'll be 4 one day, 4 the next day, 3 the day after that. And so I'm just using those articles, and then I feature somebody every Thursday, because I was doing it every day or the same day, and it was a lot. So but the people are so amazing, and everybody deserves to be showcased. But what I realized is when I was doing my coffee chats, I was the only person that got to know the person. And so I started doing the articles. And the articles for me are kind of lengthy. I like that your bios are shorter. So what I did with the length, I said, what if people could tell their own stories? What if people could tell who they are and talk to the audience themselves? And so that was really the birth of Carrie Connects, which I do every Saturday, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, just to allow the person to talk about who they are, if they have a skill or a talent or a gift that they want to bring to the world, they're able to talk about that. And so I just had my third one today, and I'm so excited. It's going so well. And I'm so excited because people are signing up. People want to be talked about, right? People want to have these conversations. And so I'm all the way booked through July, right?
How
And so,
amazing. I love
yeah,
that. That's
booked all
just
the way
amazing.
through July. And I'm so excited about
Yay,
it.
yes. That's super fun. That's wonderful. So this is where it's interesting about, when you start a new journey, like you just don't know how it's gonna go. You go with the flow and just things happen. And it looks like
Mhm.
based on those coffee chat, like it just created all these like ideas, and then you came up with a great podcast. And look at you, you're fully booked all the way to July. So if somebody
Yeah,
wants to come on your show, they better get on it, okay? You
yeah,
gotta reach out
very
to Gary.
good. And I love the idea that people want to really have those conversations. I'm honored that people want to have conversations with me, and then really honored that people allow me to write the articles and share their story. And then for them to come as a guest on my podcast is really just the icing on the cake, because I never thought about doing a podcast until December. I really didn't think about doing a podcast in December. I thought about, the idea came to me probably late November, early December, because it was the 2 year anniversary of my son's father passing away.
Hmm.
So when he passed away, I was watching some weeks later the a television show called the Bernie Mac Show, and Bernie Mac is from Chicago. I'm from Chicago, so there's that connection there. But also the fact that he passed away, and his children still get to see him, right? They can go back and watch the videos and watch him. And because my mother passed away when she was 39 years old, I don't have video footage of my mom. I don't have any recordings of her voice, so it's really just what I feel in my heart and what I can remember. And I said, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not, Bernie Mac status, but to my child, I'm Bernie Mac. Okay, baby, I'm somebody. And so I said, well, how nice would that be? And so I just started putting it in private sections on YouTube. And I said, well, when he's ready for it, he can watch it. But it occurred to me, the things that I was sharing with him, that they're so, in my mind, so amazing that other people need to know about them, because we're all somebody's child. And that's really what birthed my first podcast, which is Clarity from the Heart. So Clarity from the Heart is really just about mindset, and it's about money, because I really believe money matters or mindset matters. And so that was really the birth of Clarity from the Heart. And sometimes I'll talk about, money, and sometimes I'll talk about mindset. But that got me comfortable at least doing podcasts, because I had never done one before. And I was just shocked at the number of people who were willing to come. Now, mind you, Layla, first 8 episodes was me, myself, and I. Okay, it
Look, well, it looks
was
like
just
you
me and
upgraded. You have
myself.
guests now, so that's amazing.
Yes, I have guests and comments. So it was just me talking to myself, talking to the camera, getting comfortable with the camera, figuring out the lighting and makeup and the settings and where to put my microphone and all of those things. You'll hear, and I didn't delete them because nobody's perfect. And I think showing that authenticity matters to people. So if you go back to my first few episodes, you'll hear like this clunk, clunk, clunking loud, loud noises, because my desk is glass and I'm making all this noise. And I think that's how you and I connected, because we didn't know what we were doing.
We had
And
no idea. That is so true. Even now, I'm not even sure. Right now, I'm looking and I was like, I don't see people in the audience commenting because I don't think they can comment, but then I don't know how that works. So
right.
if you're out there and you're watching, we're sorry. I don't know how this works, but we'll figure out on the next one.
Yeah. I don't know how people can comment either. Um, I guess in under live chat, I'm not really sure. But the thing that I like about it is that we connected because we met on somebody else's podcast. And then we said, you know what, we're going to figure out Substack together. We've only been on Substack now. I don't even think it's been a month yet. But we said
Mhm.
we were going to figure it out together. And both of us have integrity. Both of us are true to our word. And so we actually connected after that podcast to start figuring out Substack. So Substack, if you all can hear us, help us out because we're trying to learn. Where can we go for Substack classes? Because we still don't know. We're guessing every single day. But because of that conversation on somebody else's podcast, that led Layla and I to connecting. And now we have this amazing opportunity with Besties Beyond Borders. And then we're doing, we like attracts like, I believe water seeks its own level. And so both of us are doing where we're meeting people, we're exposing people. And you want to expose people to your network because I'm meeting people that other people around me have no idea who these people are or that they even exist. And everybody wants to feel like they're somebody.
I
So
love
to
that.
share
Yes,
somebody's
I love that.
story is so I just think it's powerful.
It really is, and I love how you frame that, and it's also building community and
Mhm.
collaboration and partnership. So sometimes we don't even know what we're saying or doing. It's inspiring somebody, it's giving ideas. And just a couple weeks ago, people's like, "Layla, you're going to start a podcast?" Like, no and no, okay. And people keep asking and asking. I said, "No, Layla is not. Is she barely started doing." Going on people's podcasts. I don't even know how that works. I'm not interested. And here I am, besties beyond borders. But because it is scary, we have a synergy. I said, you know what, I will do it if I have a co-host or somebody's helping me out. I don't want to do
Mhm.
it on my own, and that's kind of it started. But the beauty of it is just along this journey, it's also helping others going on some podcasts. Just today you had a guest that hasn't been on a podcast, so it's new experience. So
Mhm.
by showcasing this individual, you're giving them an opportunity for a platform, but also the message they're sharing is resonating with so many people today. So your show was fantastic.
Thank
And the
you.
comments and people showing up, and it's just like beautiful conversation, and we learned so much. And this person deserves to be showcased even more because what they're sharing has so much value. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody is a celebrity because we have all these people that we're meeting that are just amazing people. And
Yeah.
they're around us and they're right there. So great opportunity to showcase them and connect with them. And we invite people to, when we post them and you write your articles, to connect with the people that we chatted, because you just never
Mhm.
know. They might add something to you. You might be able to help them out, or maybe you know somebody with somebody else. Like, it's just, we're building community, and that's what Besties Beyond Borders is about. It's like, regardless of where you live, because I'm in Vancouver, Canada. Carrie is in the US in Indiana, and here we are today,
Mhm.
right?
Yep, here we are today. So the besties part really is because of when you think about best friends, somebody that you talk to, and when you have those conversations, they're meaningful and they add value to your life. So Layla and I talk almost every single day, but I have people in my life that I've known 20 years or more, and I don't talk to them every single day. But Layla, we're brainstorming. It's a different type of energy. I have a lot of friends, but I just haven't had this type of where it's a business bestie and a personal bestie. And believe you me, Layla keeps me on my toes. She was like, "No, don't do that. Stop that. Not that. Tap into your Sagittarius moon." Right?
Well, you're also keeping me on track too. It's like, have you done this? Have you learned this? Wait, you said you were going to do it. Did you do it? It's like, yeah, I didn't. Well, let's do it right now. So
Yeah.
you're keeping me accountable. And I have to say, because we are the Sagittarius like fire sign, Sagittarius are achievers. Okay. So by the
Mhm.
time, because we're time difference, right? By the time I'm waking up, Carrie, she already built something new idea, new business, new this, new that. And it's just like, girl, I just woken up. Like, what is happening? Like, what? Like, from yesterday to today, how you've built and accomplished so many things. I'm just waking up right now. She's like, you know what, Layla, just get into it. It's like,
Right.
girl,
Get
get,
into
get,
it.
get into it. I was just, okay. But that's the beauty of it, is like, we just met recently, but we're complimenting each other, and we're giving each other real feedback, and we're
Mhm.
um nice in it. We're not ill intent. We mean, we don't say it in a mean way. We say it in a silly, hilarious, funny way. We make fun of each other. And we just, every time we speak, we have new ideas, or we brainstorm, we reframe things, and it's just really positive. Like,
Mhm.
even if we are having maybe a more challenging day, which doesn't seem to happen when we connect. It's like, yeah, whatever, we'll just move on, and
Yeah.
get to it, right? And then we go straight to business of talking about things that we enjoy. We met this new person, it was exciting, and it's like, oh, you got to talk to this person too. And it's like, oh, I came with a new idea. And I'm just like, okay, like, what can we do with it? And
Mhm.
it's just naturally, it's organically happening. It just goes with the flow, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we are just going with the flow. And I want to clarify for those of you out there, I got to give a shout out to my Taurus, right? Because I am a Taurus sun sign and a Taurus rising, but my moon sign is Sagittarius. So that's where that fire comes out. Like, I'm a Taurus, so I'm really loyal. I'll stick with you a while, but once you cross me, baby, the Sag come out. And that's why Layla will say, tap into your Sagittarius. So whether it's a business idea, that is not a good idea. And I'm like, oh, let's try. She's like, no, Sagittarius time. Like, we done talking about that. And then we'll move on to whatever it is, move on to something else. And she's a Sagittarius sun. So I love that she reminds me of that part of myself, because sometimes the Taurus be a little draggy, okay? Like,
Yeah, just like, you got to get going. And the thing about Saggy is we are loyal too.
mm-hmm.
Okay, but there's a limit, and it's very short. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna be there for you. I'm gonna be helping you out. I'm gonna, be there. But if you act a certain way, you're disrespectful, and you treat other with disrespect. And for me, that's a big thing, because what my background. If I see people treating other people with disrespect, no matter who you are and the level of whatever your title, it don't matter to me what you do, how much you make. But if you're disrespecting others, then I don't want to be around you, because
Yeah.
that's just not who I am. So
Mm-hmm.
that's also one of the part of being a Saggy, is just we're very forward, but we're also, and I do believe that leading with empathy and kindness is important, but you got to treat other people with respect. Because for me, if I watch you and I hear you saying things to other about other people, I'm thinking, what are you saying when I'm not around,
Right.
right? So that's why the Saggy is like, you know what? No, if you're not that a great person, we don't want you around. Okay,
Yeah.
we don't do that.
Yeah.
So
And
that's why I keep telling Carrie's like, you got to get your Saggy on. Okay, you have an idea? Let's go in. You want to do a business? Okay, just let's not talk about it, just get going. Like, the
yeah.
Sagittarius is a very achiever, right? We take things, we got to do something with it. Like, we get
Mm-hmm.
bored easily too. So that's why we have so many projects. So I get the
Yeah.
Carrie. And by the time I wake up, she has 6 projects already started. So it makes all sense now.
Right. But here's the other part of it. Don't let her trick y'all, okay? And say it's just me. Because when it comes to Besties Beyond Borders, she's like, we got to do this. And I'm like, child, look, or wait a minute, what? So, like, she'll come up with like
That is
16, 25, 30 plans
true.
just for Besties Beyond Borders, not even talking about all the other things that she has going on. But I love that, because her experience in that area strengthens me. And those are the type of, really, when you think about Besties Beyond Borders, it's not, being alike, even though we're both wearing pink today, which is my favorite color.
Yeah, which never happens because my favorite color is blue. So
So, but what I love is that we're able to have these conversations where the things that I can grow in, Layla helps me to grow in those areas, and prayerfully, the areas that she needs to grow in, I'm helping her to grow in those areas. And so that's really what it is about for us. And what I also was thinking about when you were talking was that the coffee chats and the articles and the bios that we're doing, I don't always publish everything that I write. And so I'm looking for the meaningful conversations that resonate with me. If it resonates with me personally, then I know that it's going to resonate with other people. So even though I've done coffee chats with probably 30 to 50 people by now, I know that's a big gap, but I'm thinking 4 times, the math part of my brain is working. I'm like, okay, if you're doing 4 times 3, that's 12. You were doing it on weekends, right? So that's 16. You've been doing it for about 2 or 3 weeks. So it's probably closer to about 50 articles. And I think I've written maybe 5 or 6 articles. And
mm,
so for me, I'm intentional about when I share. Like, I was doing an article about somebody else on this Thursday, but I believe timing matters. And so a friend of ours was having a book launch party. And so, because he was having a book launch party, I said, I'm going to write the article about him and encourage people to attend the book launch party, which was on Friday. And so I contacted his publisher, which is also a friend of ours, and got permission to use the book cover or the picture that was posted and to write the article. I said, would it help or hurt if I wrote the article now, or do you want me to write the article later? And so I'm big on not hurting people. And she said, oh, no, no, go ahead and write the article and, get it out there. So he was so appreciative and grateful. And you all find him on Substack. Um, Chasen, what is your last name? Pearson? No, I'll look it up. But he had it's on my page. So if you go to my page, you're going to see the book launch party.
I gotta subscribe
Right,
to
and
Carol.
subscribe, right? You're going to see that article. And then the person that I had on my show today, Sensei Fred Jordan, I have an article about him as well. Cache Spellman Timmons was on my show on Carrie Connects, and then Leslie Flowers was also, she was my inaugural guest. And so those three, I'm just finished episode 3 today. And so those three have been on the show. But I try and write articles about people who are really doing meaningful things in the community that matter, that are really trying to help other people, that have something to give. And all of us have something to give, all of us. And so your question might be, well, how come you don't do an article on everyone? Well, everyone doesn't want an article on them, right? Some people
You know
don't
what?
want
You
an
make a
article.
valid point, because that's the thing about consent, is asking the
Yeah.
people too, right?
Hmm.
Like when I asked the person, I'm like, I'm having like we're like in a Google Meet, and I was like, are you comfortable if I take a picture of both of us and I post about you on LinkedIn and Substack? You ask. So, and what you did is you ran and asked. So the consent is important, because you can't just,
Yeah.
some people want to keep it private. They don't want to showcase, like, you don't want to be showcased out there, and that's fine too. I
Hmm.
would say so far nobody said no, so it
Hmm.
was good. And some people's like, because they're seeing some of those posts, there's like, hey, I want to have a hot
Right.
chocolate chat with you, right? It's like, oh, okay, sure, why not?
Mhm.
Absolutely. So then I send a calendar.
Yeah, and I love that. And some people, and I love that everybody has consented. And then there are some people that I have met with who are dealing with personal challenges. And so some of those people are not in a space yet where they want an article about them. And so, and that's okay. It's like, how can I support you? So, my final question for my coffee chats is always, how can I support you? And I love that you mentioned that it's no pitch. I have products available for sale, but I don't try and sell anything on the coffee chats. It's really just about getting to know the person, finding out who they are, finding out what they're about, and really finding out how I can be of service to them, because I think that's important. And most of the people say, oh, I'm surprised you asked me that. Like, they're literally shocked when I say, okay, bye. And they're like, she didn't ask me for anything. That's not what it's not about. It's really about, how can I be of service? How can I give of myself to people who deserve to be highlighted, who deserve to be showcased? And everybody deserves it, and everybody doesn't want it, and that's okay too. So some people are in phases in their life where they're not necessarily ready, excuse me, where they're not necessarily ready to be highlighted, and that's fine. We honor you in that space, right? In whatever space it is that you're in. We just want to make sure that if you want an article written about you, connect with us for a coffee chat with Coach Carrie, or a hot chocolate chat with Layla Balabas. Listen, this is what I want to ask you, Layla. We
Mm.
haven't talked about this, but we kind of talked about it, but not really. Now, I have people who are not a part of your network. You have people who are not a part of my network. And so some people you've met because I did a show on them, Carrie Connects, or maybe I did an article. And then you'll say, oh, you know what? I should meet with that person for a hot chocolate chat. And so what's the thinking behind that when you kind of come up with those questions or those ideas?
Um, it's more like, you know what? Because we have different networks, I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking, what if my network can benefit them? Because it's really not about me. It's really
Right.
about, how can I be of service? And how can we give them an opportunity to really, like, connect with other people? Because, it's like, you always say your network, no, your network is your net worth, right? Okay, so I got it. So I just want to be able to, like, give as much as I'm receiving myself with such a great support from this new community that I've joined the past few weeks that are
Mhm.
just so helpful and embracing. And I just want to do that to others. And the same as like there's people in my network that I'm having those hot chocolate chat that you've never met before.
Mhm.
And that could be beneficial for whatever it is that maybe there's something you can help them out with. They might be a great guest in the future. They might, they might want to be able to showcase who they are. And who knows how it goes. Because at the end of the day, especially with the world how it is nowadays and it feels chaotic. And I think that what people are looking for is community, is
Mhm.
humanity, is human to human connection, and finding a sense of community and supporting each other. And because of all that, like I was on a live hot chocolate chat live a few days ago with Margaret, and Margaret was just such a bright, energetic leader and a certified executive coach, just like me. And she's all about building up, collaborating, and taking people to how can we help them if they lost their job like for the third, five, six, seventh time? How can we help them leverage their skills to be able to build a business on their own? And as the
Mm.
community, we can support them. And we're just talking live, right? And these ideas come like maybe creating a directory of people in our community that like like Coach Carey, when you were in the audience, like wow, I can coach on visibility and clarity and opportunity to be able to be showcased and seen by others, and some others can coach about starting the business, how to create a website and all that. And it's just really about how can we support our community members or collaborate to lift them up. And
Mhm.
then by lifting these people up, then we're also maybe we get lifted up in the same process because we're helping and giving, being of service. And I was saying to Margaret, as like how about like at the end, they can do a pitch, we can be judges, and then they can showcase their business or project or whatever it is, and then we can help them. Maybe they'll get, maybe through that opportunity, maybe get investors, maybe somebody in the community can say we can do a micro loan or something. But she was really interesting conversation about how can we build our people up, and how
Yeah.
can we make sure that we uplift them, and show that they can, you're a boss, everybody's a boss. And I love how she mentioned it because she's like everybody's a boss and you can be a boss and all of us can be. So meaning that everybody has skills that they can bring to the table, and you can use those skills to help yourself out. So that entrepreneurial mindset, and that's how she mentioned it. And I just love how she framed it. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I wanted you to answer that question because sometimes people get upset because this is my person and the universe created all of us, God created all of us, and so we belong to the universe. And so if somebody is in my network and I introduce them, it's so that they can build community. It's to expand the community, it's to expand their community. And so, if you all have people in your network, I just want to encourage people because I've had a few conversations with people where they weren't necessarily comfortable. And I said, well, why wouldn't you? I want as many people as I know who I know are great people. I want to get those people in front of or around as many people as possible so they can start to have those conversations. So, I have a friend that I went to high school with. He was on my show today, Sensei Fred Jordan, and Layla said, well, I want to have a hot chocolate chat with Fred. Hey, listen, do that. Okay, get into it. And so you should have a hot chocolate chat with him. I introduced Cachet, right? And Cachet was my second guest. And Layla had a hot chocolate chat with Cachet, and they had a great conversation. Layla had a hot chocolate chat with Jason. Jason was, I don't know Jason's last name. Uh,
Jason Wilson.
Jason Wilson. And then I had a hot chocolate chat with Jason Wilson, and he's going to be a guest on my show. That's what it's about. It's about networking, and your net worth does equal your network, right? And so the more people you have in your network, because money does not go away, it just goes to somebody else. Ideas don't go away, they just go to somebody else. So if you have an idea, jump on it, because once you put it out there, if you see somebody else doing it, maybe you didn't act fast enough. So act quickly. So Besties Beyond Borders, we thought of it, we acted on it. We have some great things coming down the pipe that we're going to share with you all later. But if you have people in your network who are doing great things, if you're a person that's doing great things, reach out to me for a coffee chat. reach out to Layla for a hot chocolate chat. Let us know what you're doing. Let us
Yeah, I
know
love
how we
that.
can help you, because that's really really what is it is about. It's not about what we can get from you. And I know a lot of people think coffee chats and they think, oh, they're going to try and sell me something on the back end. It's not to trick you. It's really to find out who you are as a person, what you're about, and how we can be of service so that we can introduce you to our network. If you do have products and services and things that are available, we want you to be a part of that network. That's what that directory is really about, right? That you and Margaret talked about, is about making sure that if I offer clarity coaching and somebody else offers executive coaching, somebody else might make t-shirts and cups, somebody else might do whatever people do, build websites.
Yeah,
That
you
was,
can have people that have like event coordinators. They can set up your
yeah.
event. There's like, there's publisher in the company. Like, if you want to write a book, or there's like
Hmm.
people that can help you produce your podcast. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just
Yeah.
so many people that have all these skills that, you can just find them right there in the community. And I have to say, I love what you're saying, because we want to share people, and nobody owns nobody, right? Like, we're
Right.
our own person. There's like, we have the freedom to make the choice to saying yes or no.
Hmm.
And we should not hinder anybody to move forward and being in that journey of whatever growth they are.
Hmm.
And the fun part is you're part of these people's, and sometimes just having those conversations sometimes inspire you. They give you
Yeah.
ideas.
Yes.
You know, it's like, and they're just like, they're just like, oh, have you considered doing this and that's like, hey,
Hmm.
I did not think about that. I didn't even know that was the thing. So through all these conversation, I'm learning a lot about new things. I'm learning about, great ideas, like all these things that people, you don't know that it exists. You don't know what you don't know, and sometimes this other person might just give you a great nugget and just like, wow, I
Hmm.
never thought about that, right?
Yeah.
And that's just
Absolutely.
that's just the magic of connecting with human to human and being genuine and connecting and learning about people. And
Hmm.
when you show up and you're authentic, people can tell too, right? If you're coming in too strong and just think about selling your service or pitching something, people know, and they're not gonna like it. So that's why we decided to do it the way it is, because we just wanted to have it really casual and just being of service.
Yep, that's it. Casual, being of service, learning about who you are as a person so that we can share as much information about you as possible. If it's an opportunity to write an article, if it's an opportunity to collaborate, like that's really, really, really what this is about, is making sure that people get visibility. And the hot chocolate chats and the coffee chats, they don't cost anything. They're free. We don't pay anything either. Okay, get that part understood. But
That is true.
listen, okay. We don't pay you, but it doesn't cost you anything to come and have a conversation. And they're slated for 15 minutes. Sometimes they go over to about 30 minutes if it's a really great conversation. But let us know in the comment section if you watch the replay. Are you a coffee drinker, or are you a hot chocolate drinker, or
Mm.
both? Or do you like something else? I was a guest on a podcast last week, and that might have been this week. I'm so confused, and with Leah Garcia, and she said that she's going to start doing coconut chats because she likes
Oh,
coconut water. And so she was
okay.
doing coffee chats, but she said, "Oh, I think I'm going to call mine coconut chats." And you just never know the people that you're going to meet in your circle who are going to be able to bring value. People are looking for services, people are looking for products, people are looking for connections, relationships, friendships, gym buddies. People have really been isolated for a really long time. So if you have an opportunity to connect with someone that really has your best interest at heart and really just wants to see you do well, I say reach out. I say reach out, connect, let people know what you have going on. If you have events that are coming up, if you have a podcast coming up, if you don't have a podcast but you want to learn how to do it, like just reach out, because you never know who in your network is willing to donate in kind services, who may be able to discount services because you're a part of their network. Some services are going to be full price, but a lot of the things that Layla and I are doing, we just donate our time. We give of ourselves. And it is a lot, okay, to meet with one day I had like 6 to 7 coffee chats in one day. I was like,
Yeah, that's
I
a
don't even know
lot.
how
Could
I
you
did
imagine? And then try to write articles about that? Like, yeah, I've had days where I have 5, 6, 7, and I'm just then I
it.
have a real a podcast that I have to attend because I'm the guest. I'm just like,
Right.
I gotta show up. I'm tired, but I gotta show up because
Yeah.
there's an expectation. So you gotta show up. But like, it's we're having fun. So that's also the part is like you gotta enjoy what you're trying and what you're doing. And
Hmm.
you can people I love that the person you were mentioning, they're talking about like making coconut chat. Like that's amazing, right? And
Yeah.
I have to say that's how you can find your besties beyond borders, right? That's
Yes.
how we found each other. So maybe next time we might hear from somebody's like, hey, guess what? I found my besties beyond borders because I did a coffee chat, a hot chocolate chat, a coconut chat, maybe a tea chat or a matcha chat, whatever, right?
Oh.
Let us know. We want to hear those stories. If you met your besties beyond borders like that, let us know.
Yeah, and if you're a tea drinker, because I like alliteration, so I do coffee chat because they both start with the letter C. So you got coffee chat, coconut
Mm.
chat, hot chocolate chat, but maybe you can do a tea talk. Oh, right, like
Ooh, okay.
right instead of a tea
Yes.
chat, or it could be a tea chat. It could be whatever you want it to be. Whatever it is, just have fun doing it, right? And so if you go back to the beginning, if you're tuning in towards the end, we talked about our coffee and we talked about our hot chocolate, what products and what brands we use. If you use a different brand or if you think there's something that we should try, let us know in the comments because I'm open to trying different coffees, different protein. I don't use anything with corn and I don't use anything with soy. I use almond milk. And so if you know of any coffee products, hot chocolate products that I can try because I love hot chocolate too. But
Mm.
I usually only drink hot chocolate in the winter time. It seems for Layla it's a year-round thing, right? And so
Yes, it is. Yes. So, and I would say for that, if you know any brand, because I have a gluten allergy, so I cannot have chocolate with wheat in it. And there's a lot of brands now that have wheat in it. So if you know any of
Mhm.
the good hot chocolate brands that doesn't have wheat in it, is gluten free, because I do hot chocolate, I do love it, but I also like eating chocolate too. So let's I love chocolate. Okay. So anything chocolate, I'm like, if it's gluten free, oh my god, I'm a fan. Okay, whatever it is. And so yeah, I love that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this was a great episode two. I think it lasted longer than episode one. So we're already at 42 minutes. It doesn't feel like 42 minutes though. It
No.
feels like, like the time just kind of flies when you are having good conversations, meaningful conversations. Go back and check out our Substacks and look at some of those articles and leave comments. That's part of engagement and that's part of building your visibility and building your network. You got to let people know that you are in the room. You got to let people know that you exist. And the way that we know that you're here is through your comments. Sometimes people will join and we can see that you joined, but we don't know if you're still here or not, right? And so the way that we know that you're here is really based on the comments that you leave on whatever the platform is. So if you're taking the time to visit with someone virtually, just make sure you take the time to leave a comment and say hi. Because if you were meeting with somebody in person, and I think that's for me one of the things is if I met somebody in person and they were talking, I wouldn't just stand there and look and not say anything. I would say, "Hey, how are you?" Right? And so drop a "Hey, how are you?" In the comment section.
Yeah, and you know what? Even if like maybe you might have some ideas, maybe some feedback. Would love to hear it because
Mhm.
it's all about like sharing and connecting and talking to people. Sometimes you might think about something we haven't thought about, or maybe something is off right now. Whatever it is, that helps us as well. So new ideas, feedback, we love it.
Mhm. And I love that you said new ideas and feedback because we had this conversation before where we off camera, but we talked about brainstorming and how there's really no such thing as a bad idea. And so brainstorming, when you put all of the ideas down, you might not use an idea, but it can lead you to the next idea. And so that idea of brainstorming and writing down what you're thinking and what your plans are. Here's the thing, and I don't even know if I told you this yet. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But this just came to me yesterday because I have this after school program. A school. I said, what? I don't want to do a school. But I was a teacher for 20 years and it makes sense to go from an after school program to a school So we're still brainstorming that idea, right? I'm still mapping that out. But you just never know that it may not end up being a school, but the idea of thinking about a school and thinking about how children learn and thinking about how adults learn, it might turn into something else. So just be open to hearing things that you're uncomfortable with, open to hearing things that may be new, that may be different, because one idea may not be the idea, but it could lead you to the next idea that leads you to what we all deserve, and that's wealth.
I love that. Yes, absolutely. There's no wrong or bad ideas because everything stems from something, some
Right.
conversation. and and then I think we had some conversation today after your show. I can't remember. I think we're talking about like some of the great statements some of your guests are bringing, and then
Mhm.
people's like, "Oh, she put that on a T-shirt," and then it's just like everybody wants the T-shirts, and I was like, "Okay, that's a cool idea." And then you came up with something like, "How about I would just like create a page and put that on the page?" And putting the statements of your guests that they came that can make a difference that people could be like just look at one sentence like oh that
Mhm.
resonates with me, I like that. So from
Absolutely.
the t-shirt idea to going and having a page, and that was just like having those conversations and it
Mhm.
just evolved in a different way, and I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, and really, as you're sitting here, I'm thinking, well, the website might be a good idea, and now I'm thinking about even like Carrie Connects T-shirts with guest quotes on them, like just from right now having this conversation, like maybe after episode 10 or episode 20, where I have enough quotes saved up, but putting them, like on the shirt, like maybe episode 25. I think that's is 25 the diamond or the diamond what episode or I think that's 25 years in a marriage, but I'm going to use that idea 25 episodes, right? That'll be my diamond episode. And then maybe from that, my first 25 guests, we can take the quotes and maybe I'll do a Carrie Connects t shirt and put it and then just gift it to the guests that have been on the show.
Hey, I love that.
You
That's a
know,
great idea. Okay. Yeah.
brainstorming in action. You all
Mhm.
see it here in real time, real
That's
time.
brainstorming for you. That's like live brainstorming. That's what we do every
Mhm.
day. We have those
Yes.
conversations. And here we already evolved from maybe like just before jumping on this, we started having the conversation to now you came up with some new ideas just
Hmm.
by brainstorming, having a conversation. How
Yeah.
wonderful is that? That's amazing.
Yeah. How wonderful is that? Well, we got about four, no, 3 more minutes. It'll be 50 minutes, and then we'll be wrapping it up. If you have anything, any closing thoughts?
That's a good one. Yeah, just whatever you're doing, just enjoy it. You have to have fun, right? Don't take yourself too seriously. Do it if you have an idea, just go and try it and do it and see what happens. You just never know. Don't have too much of expectation. Just go in it, go with the flow, and it'll take you on a journey that you can't even imagine that was possible. So just go with it. How about you?
Oh, I was like, girl, that's the one right there.
Yeah,
Look.
yeah, but yeah, no, it's your turn too. Okay, besties beyond borders. It's not just one side; it's both sides. So, final
Oh,
thoughts,
that was
you,
so
Gary.
good. So I would say that my closing thoughts would be that water seeks its own level. And I think that's one of the reasons that we connected. That when you are looking for people to be a part of your community, to be a part of your circle, think about who you are, who you want to become, and understand that becoming is an ongoing process, but you have to see it and then you can seize it. So we come up with these ideas, we envision it, we visualize it, and now we're seizing the opportunity, and then we're going to seize the cash. Okay. And so you really want to make sure that people who are in your circle are people who really have your best interest at heart. And everybody is dealing with things. Some people are going through challenges. Some people are at really great places in their life, right? Some people are in between, like in between challenges and great places and spaces. But just be aware. My mother used to say, and I'll close with this in honor of my mother: live your life in such a way that other people are blessed just for having known you. If your actions are not
Mm.
going to bless someone, maybe sit with it for a while and not move in haste. Think about, is what I'm about to say, is what I'm about to do, is it really going to bless someone? Is this action going to help, or is this action going to hurt? And if the action is going to help, by all means, do it. But if it's not going to help, it may be something that you want to reconsider. And so I just want to encourage everybody to be a blessing and to be blessed as well.
Oh, thank you. This is just a beautiful, it's just beautiful. I love it. Thank you for sharing.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll see you all
All
next
right.
time.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye, bestie.
Bye, bestie.